Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm Mayank Agarwal and I'm really glad to see you here. So from this Hello Python series, we are trying to master Python one video at a time. And from this video onwards, we are going to start with list. In the last video, I gave you an awesome introduction about what data structures actually are, and lists are going to be the first data structure which we are going to master. So let's get started. Okay everyone, now let us start an understanding with list. They are actually showcased by this square bracket. That's why I have drawn the same like in front of them. So list is actually in a very real sense just a list in Python. So when we are making a to-do list, or let's say list of shopping item, we are in a way, I would say, noting down all the things which we want, right? So we kind of create a list like this. So let's say the first item, then the second item, let's say you want maybe a TV, then let's say you're on a shopping spree. So shopping spree, so you want an AC, let's say you want a detergent. Okay, let us make TV remote because else it will be a lot heavy shopping list. So the way we are making our list here, okay, list of items, okay, different item where each element is a separate entity. In a similar way, Python allows us that we can make a list. Okay, it is very analogous to arrays which are there in other languages, but the overall understanding is same. So that is where lists are used. So in Python, list helps to store sequence of item in a single variable. Now I've already explained you what is the difference between iterable and a sequence. So in list, as in real life, because there is an order to things, right? Because there is an order to things. In a similar way, list, the items are in a sequential order. So you can say that, okay, this is the first item, this is the second item, and this is the third item. Okay, it's basically like balls on a table which are kept in a particular sequence. Lists are created by defining element inside this square bracket. Okay, so let us see this once, everyone. Let us try to see the same ones. Let's say if I want to make a list L1, okay, just a very easy list L1, 2, 3, and if I run this, you're able to see that I am able to create my list. Okay, and if I see the type of this L1, it's list. Okay, so that means that, yeah, it's an inbuilt data structure in Python which Python also recognizes. Okay, so let us move forward. Let us move forward and learn more about it. So list characteristics, like what are exactly the properties of my list? Okay, so lists are ordered. I have explained already that there is an order, right? If I want to say that, or if I ask anyone, hey, what is the third element in my list? Everyone is gonna say 3 because it maintains an order. And because they are ordered, I hope, like I have told you already, the concept of indexing. So you can refer, okay, of course it is zero index like everything in programming and Python. You can actually access these items using this square bracket and a number inside it. Okay, this square bracket is for indexing, and this is basically used when we are defining our list. So don't get confused in that. So they are ordered, maintain order of our elements. Second is mutable. Okay, so these properties are very important to understand because these are actually few properties which will be different when we see different data structures. So in list, what mutable means is, so if we just search on Google and basically define mutable, so you will see that liable to change, which can be changed. Okay, so list can actually be changed. So what I can do is I can actually, I would say, just write this L10 and I can write something like, let's say 5353, something like this. And now your list has actually been changed. Okay, so it is mutable. It can be changed. Just that is what mutable means. And we are going to see a few data structures, and these are all the properties through which we define our data structure. So these properties are very important to understand. So lists are mutable as well. Now the next property is that it allowed duplicates. It allowed duplicates. Like list can actually contain duplicates. So let us see the same as well. Let's say L1, okay, is equals to, so I'm just redefining all, let me define it by L2, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now if I see L2, it is 1, 1, 1. Okay. So they allow duplicates. They can actually contain duplicates. And the last one is that lists are heterogeneous. So here I would like to explain and give you a little idea about heterogeneous and homogeneous. So heterogeneous is already, the list can store elements of different type. Okay, so we know that, okay, this is a string, this is a string, this is a integer, and this is a float. And list actually can store your different type of variable under a same name. So in L1 you can have these different type of variables. This is a little different the way things are in arrays, basically in your, I would say, your Java or Python, Java or C++, where you have to tell that, okay, which type of array you are creating. In Python, being I would say easy and awesome the way it is, it doesn't care. Like you can actually store anything in list. It doesn't even matter. So for example, I can actually create a list L3 where, let's say, first is my name, okay, then some number, and then I would say the value of pi. right? And it's all good. Like it doesn't care. Rather, you know what you can also do is you can even add another list into it. So you can add another list into it, and that is also fine. So list, as I said, that's why I said that it is just like a list. Like you can have a list of, I would say, anything, right? So in Python also, your list can contain anything. It doesn't matter. As long as you are basically able to store them and access them the way you want, it is more than good. It can add things, it is mutable, it is heterogeneous. So all these things are very important property when we talk about lists. Okay. So let us move forward and learn more about it. So next is creating a list. So list can actually be created by two ways. The first we have already seen. The first one is actually by using these square brackets, right everyone? So anything which you are writing inside these square brackets, Python sees them as a list. Python sees them as a list. The second is by using this list function. So just like we have the int, float and the string function which we saw, right, when we were learning about these basic data types, Python also gives us this list function. Okay, so let us see the same. So for example, let's say L4 is equals to list and let's say 1, 2, 3. And if I'm gonna, one second, list, my bad. So it should be inside a proper another bracket. Okay, complete output, yeah. The reason is that because this whole is taken as something from which we have to create a list. You will see it here. So it expects an iterable which should be inside. So I press shift tab for this, shift and tab. So it creates an, it basically expects an iterable. Now I have already told you what iterable is, right? So basically what it does is that based on this thing, based on providing an iterable, it creates a list of that, right? Now again, one thing more to understand here is that if you will provide just this list function, then it's going to create an empty list. Then it's going to create an empty list, which again is very analogous to just you're not defining anything in your list, right? So L6 again is an empty list. We can see the length of our L6, and as all of you can, I would say, guess, it is going to be 0. Okay, so it's just an empty list. Like let's say you have a page which is a to-do kind of, like there are diaries, right? There nothing is basically you have not added anything. Okay, to understand, I think the intuition wise, so it is very much, should be very much clear that what lists are. In industry, of course, you can think that how all it is used, right? So if let's say tomorrow I am with Swiggy and I want to get all the orders, okay, which are there, then I can get them within, I would say, within a list, okay, and work on them. In a similar way, if let's say Amazon is working on something and they want different kind of users, like let's say seller, buyer, so they can actually store all of them in a list. Okay, it doesn't matter for a list that, okay, what are the types and everything. So in industry, of course, they are also used a lot. Again, like this is the very basic, I would say, sequential kind of a data type or data structure in Python. So it is used in lots of places. Okay, so let us now see few more properties about list. The next one is accessing list elements. So indexing and slicing. Okay, so let me showcase this to you. Again, I'm gonna repeat this. So if you have seen the, I would say, the video of slicing and indexing. So I have explained these indexing and slicing very nicely. I will add the link in the description with respect to strings in my earlier videos in Hello Python series. So I made sure that everything is very much clear there, because I told you there that time as well that it is gonna get used in future as well, right? So now let's say if I have this L1, if I have this, or let me take L3 because I think this was a little complex, right? So the understanding again is same. The understanding again is very much same. So let me just show you this thing. Pay attention, everyone. So here, this is the 0th element. This is the first element. This is the second, and this is the third. Now, if you provide L of 0, you're gonna get Mayank. And now you can basically work on it as you would work on a string, right? L of 1 in a similar way is gonna be an integer, which is 12. This is an integer, right? L of 2 is gonna be 3.14, which is float, and then L of 3 is another, I would say, list. Now again, this is the concept of indexing, and all the things are gonna remain same. So let me just quickly show you this as well. So pay attention. Let's say, let me get just L3, L3 of 3. Okay. The problem, which I hope you understand from your, if your basics are very clear, if I try to access 4, it's gonna be a problem. But on the other hand, negative indexing works exactly well. The way it was working in strings and the way I've explained you that concept, right? It is exactly the same. Like nothing changes. There is no change at all in, I would say, indexing part. So that's the reason I asked you to be special, I would say, attentive while I was teaching those things, right? So please make sure that you see those videos, though I've tried to explain it here as well. In a very much similar way, slicing works exactly the same way. Okay. So let's say if I want L3, Okay, and let's say if I want from 0 to 2, like the first and second element, so I will get it like this. It's gonna not go till 2, but it's gonna stop at 1. Okay, in a similar way, if I make it 2 0, I'm gonna get it empty, but the second I add -1 here, it's gonna just give me the same thing in return. Okay, so I hope this thing is very much clear, everyone. Please make sure that you understand this thing. Please make sure that this thing is clear, like see that video again. But overall, the concept of slicing, there's a reason that I spent so much time, right? So again, the same thing is happening. If you will just pay attention here, 0 1 2 3. So we are going to start from 0, go in this direction. If we are going in this direction, our end is going to come a step in our direction only towards us, and it is give us this 1 and 2 elements. So that is what you are getting here. Okay, so this concept is going to be a lot used in, I would say, every data structure, then NumPy array, then pandas. So please make sure that you please revisit that video if you have any doubt here, though I have tried to explain it majorly in the same way. So that is what the overall, I would say, properties of your list are. Now let us go back and see more on our notes. Okay, so list also now have operations. Okay, so first one was the property, like which defines what exactly list is. For example, if you are creating list, then it has to be heterogeneous, mutable, it should have an order, it should be indexable, sliceable, all these things are required. Now let us see some operation on our list. Okay, so let us see the same, everyone. List operation. Now please make sure that you understand each and everything here. If you have followed this, I would say, series, these things will be a lot easy for you to understand. If not, you can just quickly see the previous videos as well. But overall, I will try to make sure that they are a lot easy. So let us see what are L1 and L2, everyone. These are these two lists, right? So if I do L1 plus L2, I'm going to basically get another list, which is the concatenation of our basically these two lists. This is very analogous to, if you remember, the way we were able to, I would say, concatenate our strings. So if you do this, you're going to get a final string, which is the addition, or I would say concatenation of both of them, right? So it can be very much useful. Let's say if you have a list of buyers and a list of sellers and you want the total list, just add them and you will get the list where everything is there, right? Orders, unpaid orders, paid. Add them and you will get all the orders. So this is where actually this thing is very much useful. Now, as multiplication is, I would say, repeated addition, as multiplication is repeated addition. So if you do something like this, L1 is like this. Okay, if you do this 3, you're going to get this list 3 times. And I hope you understand this is analogous to this thing, right? Because multiplication is repeated addition. Now, of course, subtraction or division is not supported because that is little ambiguous. Like, how are you gonna subtract my list? Okay, so this operand type, okay, negative is an operand, right? So we have discussed this already in operators and I would say in our Hello Python series. So this is not supported, and in a similar way, L2 divided by 2 is also not supported. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear as well, everyone. So concatenation is there, then repetition is there. The next one is membership. So membership is also pretty straightforward. If you remember, I told you about in and not in membership operator, right? So you can ask your list something like this. So let's say 3 in L1, and it's going to give you if that element is present or not. Okay, it's going to give you if that particular element is present or not present. Okay, so just one thing to pay focus here, everyone. Let's say, let me take this L2, one second, the list which, yeah, L3, let me take it once. So let me show you this one thing and make it clear. So see, if I ask 1 in L3, okay, pause the video and just think what is going to happen. Pause the video and think what is going to be the answer. Okay, cool. Hope you have tried the same. So pay attention, everyone. If I run this, this is going to give me false. The reason for that is because we don't have 1 inside our list. Rather, you can think of it like this. Let's say they are kept on a table. Okay. Let's say they are kept on a table where the first element is Mayank, the second element is 12, third element 3.14, and then this whole list is present where we have 1, 1 and 1. So if you see here, yes, the 1 is there inside that list, but 1 as a single element is not present in my list. So this is where I would say your understanding of membership operator is very useful, right? So if we try to find 1, it is gonna basically ask like this: hey, are you 1? No. Are you 1? No. Are you 1? No. And are you 1? This is also no, because it is 1, 1, 1 as a separate list. Okay. So if I run this, okay, and I hope you have also given the right answer for that, it's going to give me false. But on the other hand, if I do something like this in L3, it's giving me true. Okay, so I hope this thing is very much clear. That is the major, I would say, funda which we have to clear in the membership and especially in these sequences. Okay, so next thing is iterable. Iterable I think should be a lot clear. Like, of course, the list is overall iterable. Like what I can do is I can do something like this for I in, or let's say for element in L3. For element in L3, I can just print out the element, right? So it's gonna print it out one by one. So just that it is iterable. Because see, it's a sequence, and I told you already that sequence are iterable. Okay, sequence are iterables. So iterable is what, which we can pick things one by one. And in this, the table, like the things are kept on a table, we can pick them one by one and work on them. So I get Mayank first, then 12, then 3.14. Okay, just one more question which you can actually try after pausing. So let me know if what will be the answer for this. Okay, great. So hope you have tried the same. The answer is false because this is string 12 and we have an integer 12. So this data type wala property holds true. So your basics and your concepts in data science should be very clear. This data type should be very clear. Again, these questions might not get asked in an interview, but in a online assessment or some, I would say, test which companies take normally, you can very well get asked on this. Okay. So these are the major property. Modifying list I have already shown you. This is actually, I would say, one of the real use cases where the list, because they are mutable, so they can be modified as well. So just let me show you this thing. Fruits, let's say, is equals to orange, banana, and apple. Okay. Now if you do fruits 0, it's orange. But let's say I want pineapple here instead of orange. I can just change it. And if you see fruits now, the orange is lost and it has been basically changed by pineapple. Okay, so that is the major understanding when I say that it is, I would say, changeable. So now if I do it, fruits of 4 is equals to something, then it's going to give an error, because I hope you understand that 4th, this element is not present. Similarly, 3 is also not present, right? So the elements which are present, you can change them. You can also add few elements that we are going to see in methods and function part. But major understanding is that you can change the elements. So those things is very important to understand. Okay, everyone. So yeah, those were, I would say, the major properties of your list, like basic idea about list. I hope this makes it a lot more clear. Now, again, these are few new properties which you will be learning about if you are very new to Python. And I would say these are not taught in this depth whenever someone is teaching you. Normally, I've seen that people just make it a list and they are fine with that. Like they will just create it under a square and then show you a few operations. But first, I think this understanding is very, very important. Okay, everyone. So please make sure that you revisit this. Again, for this as well. Yeah, so for this as well, we have another notebook which is explaining everything. All of these properties are properly explained there. You will be getting my handwritten notes as well. So please make sure that you revise from it. And before the next video, where we are going to see function and methods of list, all these things should be a lot more clear. Okay, these things should be actually a lot more clear. Because of this, all these properties are clear to you, right? If you remember and understand these properties properly, then further data structures are going to be a very easy for you, right? Further data structures are actually going to be breeze, because in those, some of these properties are only getting changed. Nothing major actually is happening beyond that. So yeah, just please make sure that you go through this video once again, see it once again, try to solve the question, try to understand each and every property. And if you do that, then you should be very good in your overall, I would say, this particular 9-10 videos which we are going to cover all the things about our data structures in Python. Okay. Cool then, thanks a lot everyone. So please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're liking the way I'm teaching by giving all the examples with all these material. Okay, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you.